But Paul continues to write in 2 Corinthians, yes, we live under constant danger of death because we serve Jesus, so that the life of Jesus will be evident in our dying bodies. We know that God who raised Lord Jesus will also raise us with Jesus and present us to himself together with you. All of this is for your benefit.
Yeah.
As God's grace reaches more and more people, there will be greater thanksgiving, and God will receive more and more glory. To the disciples of Christ, other people are worth hurting over.
Yes.
Yes. I'm glad I got a couple of amen. Other people are worth hurting over.
Yeah.
It's exciting to know that we can find divine strength and weakness. Got plenty of hand claps on that. But it can be challenging to understand that this strength we find is to be used in service to others, which may invite, challenge, or incur more hurt. We were excited. I had y'all excited for about 30 seconds. That his strength is made perfect in my weakness, and I can find supernatural strength. But then what do I do with that strength? I go out and serve somebody, and I might get hurt in the process. The things that I suffer, the things that Paul suffered, he said, are for your benefit. I don't need the headache. It's for your benefit that I endure this. Discipleship is a way of servanthood where the redemption of the lost, deliverance of the captives, and empowerment of the powerless is our highest priority. I'm going to say that one more time. Discipleship is a way of servanthood where the redemption of the lost, deliverance of the captive, and the empowerment of the powerless is the highest priority. My comfort is nowhere on that list. While not all or even most believers are called to the work of Paul, we are called and will be invariably called upon to work in the service of others at the expense of our own comfort, convenience, and even sometimes our feelings. The truth is, if we're doing our jobs right, most of the time, the people we serve will be unaware of the full cost of our service to them. So we don't do it for vain glory or grand testimony, because most of the time, they're not going to know everything that you put into it. Larry, they had a great commercial for us one time. They said, if you don't know we're out there, then we're doing something right.
Right. Yep.
Yet there are also times where they need to know that someone cares for them. That they need to know that they are important to God, thus they are important to us. So we don't run around telling everything that we do, but sometimes we do have to tell people that we are sacrificing, and we're sacrificing for your benefit because we want you to know that you're important to God, and the best connection that you have to God at the moment is us. So because you're important to God, you're important to us. And because God would sacrifice for you, because God did sacrifice for you, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to endure some things for your benefit. It is important that they know the love of God is not a selfish love that demands its own requirement. Rather, it is a serving love that finds its joy and fulfillment in the elevation of others. It's important that they understand that God is not narcissistic and needy, that his love is not something that he just extends because he just wants to be loved, but his love is something that he extends because he wants you to do better, because he finds joy in your elevation and your empowerment in the best way that anybody sees that is experiencing it through us, which means sometimes we extend love for them to see and don't get love back and get our feelings hurt, but it is done for your benefit. At times, disciples will find themselves between their own interest and the interest of those that they serve. For me to live is Christ, and to die is gain. But if I live, I can do more fruitful work for Christ. So I don't really know which is better. If I live, I can do more work for Christ. If I die, I get to go to Christ. It's really in my interest to die and go to Christ, but it's better for you if I stay. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick around here. It's for your bet. I could go be with Christ. I'm on my way out of here. I'm in prison. I could be put to death, but it's better for you if I stay. So I think I'll stick around a little bit longer. Look at somebody that you don't live with and tell them it's for your sake. Look at somebody and tell them you're worth hurting over. Sometimes people are worth being lied on over. Sometimes people are worth being talked about over. Sometimes people are worth being stabbed in the back over, even if they're the ones that are holding the knives. In Corinthians, Paul isn't letting them know that he suffers so that way they can appreciate him suffering. He has to have this conversation because they've decided that he's not worth nothing. He's not really an apostle. He's not really about anything. And he has to remind them, do you have any idea how much I've been through with you? You might not appreciate it, but I was suffering for your sin, and I'm currently suffering and doing work for your benefit because you are worth hurting over.
Amen.
Thank God that he believes people are worth hurting over because that includes me, it includes you. Thank God that as Jesus hung on the cross, he looked through the pages of time and saw my hard-headed self and said, he's worth hurting over. Thank God that he looked through the pages of time, saw somebody's hard-hearted self and said, she's worth hurting over. Amen. Saw somebody's I know everything and can figure it out by myself and said, they're worth hurting over. Yeah. Saw somebody's I ain't letting nobody hurt me twice self. It said, they're worth hurting over. Yeah. And thank God that he calls and commissions disciples to show the love of Christ. Amen. And let somebody else know that you're worth hurting over. Yeah. We live in a cold, hard society where everybody is out for their own and nobody but them and theirs matters, which leaves some of us blowing in the wind wondering if anybody cares. Does anybody see us? Does anybody see anything more in us than the mess we look at when we look in the mirror? God sends you, he sends me, sends his son, says you're worth hurting over. I see you. I see beyond your faults. I see your needs. I see your faults too. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. I see how jacked up you are, but I see your needs and you're worth hurting over so that way you know that God loves you. Yeah. Even if you don't pay attention to my feelings the way I'd like for you to, you're worth hurting over. Even if you don't reciprocate like I think you ought to, you're worth hurting over. Even if you don't make the decisions that I know you ought to get you out the mess you've been crying about, you're worth hurting over. Even if you act like you don't appreciate it, yes, you're worth hurting over. And no, I'm not looking to be a martyr. I'm looking to show a miracle. The miracle of God's love towards us. I'm a living, breathing, walking, talking, moving miracle, Riley. And I've got enough miracle in me to let you experience some at my expense, knowing I'm not missing out on anything. Yes.